Welcome, everyone. I am very excited about this session today. I am looking forward to really diving into money blocks. So, money blocks is probably the starting point of really anywhere we want to grow our money mindset and our wealth. And it's really important that we accept that over time, we are going to really have money blocks change and grow with us as we change and grow. So it's really important for me to help you understand money blocks or money beliefs that aren't serving you. And the way we do this really is to become super curious about what is holding us back. And sometimes the awareness is really the cornerstone for us shifting, coming into awareness and realizing, that's been a block for me. Or I'm really feeling scarce in that arena of my life. Or I don't know if I can have the success I want because of certain money blocks. So in the Money Mindset Academy, we talk about money beliefs and not so much about blocks. And that's why today I thought it was really important that we kind of have this group coaching session for us to be able to understand the money blocks. So much about what they are, what are the biggest ones, how do we navigate them, and also why it's important that we explore the possibilities of these, because I want to let you in a little secret is that you may still have your blocks for a long time to come. It's what we do while we have them that really matters. And also having a really deep connection and compassionate mindset around these beliefs that may have been holding us back in the past. So the first few I want to chat to you about. There we go. Is scarcity mindset. I'm just going to get straight into it. So believing there isn't enough to go around. And if you grew up in a family that might not have had enough money at the time, or you're in a situation where you feel as though there's not enough to go around, then this mindset can be really holding us back from what we actually desire. And the mechanics around it is that feeling as though there's not enough interrupts our human body feeling around abundance. And when we're feeling into abundance, often it's not so much about a monetary feeling, but our bodies are in a fight or flight. We're feeling as though our physical safety is under threat and we're not going to be able to have enough of what we need to survive. So it goes a little bit deeper than just not having enough money to buy the things that we want or pursue the dreams that we want. It has to come down to the actual internal system of how our bodies react around scarcity. Excuse me, my nose is running. So scarcity is often, I find, from a money block perspective, isn't necessarily about money. It's a nervous system problem. So when we learn to calm our nervous system, create strategies throughout our day to bring our body back into center and lower our stress, our scarcity mindset really does lower over time. So the thing is that finding abundance in areas that don't necessarily have to do with money is the antidote for scarcity mindset, but also understanding that our brains are naturally wired to create negativity really quickly over positivity. So we really have to have that inner dialogue going on, that when we do come up against a scarcity mindset, having the awareness and the acknowledgement and also the self-love and care for us to be able to then course correct and create a belief that is more aligned with our goals. It's so important for us to realign ourselves into our goals, because our brains are really going to do a lot of what they want sometimes, and they can really run it. Our brains can really run the show. So understanding the scarcity mindset is, is really important for us to just become aware, and like, where is it showing up the most? And also, what is happening around when we are activated in that scarcity mindset? So is it at a time where we need to spend a lot of money, or is it when we have a certain interaction with someone or something that has kind of brought up that feeling of never having enough money and or enough resources? And if you're in my world a lot, you'll hear me talk about resourcefulness and resources, because I do think that we are living in such an abundant world in the Western world, and we have a lot of resources around us. So the more we can tap into those resources and understand that there is enough to go around, then we can kind of start moving it across into the money mindset world. But it does start very low. The next money block is a fear around spending money. So this is tied to scarcity mindset, obviously, but it's avoiding spending out of fear of not having enough. So we're going to talk about so much more in this and in the Money Mindset Academy about being comfortable with spending money. There have been times when you won't spend money, but what I'm talking about here is the block is the fear of not having enough, which is causing us to stop spending and being a bit of a Scrooge and being a little bit of a hoarder of money. And it's not on purpose, it's out of fear. So I do want to kind of get you to think about it in two boxes, because when we're trying to achieve our wealth goals, often we're going to have time where we might not be spending money because we might have a goal of saving, or we might have a goal of investing. So we might be in a period of saving and also really connecting and not spending. So we're not spending intentionally. The block comes when we have a severe fear of spending because we can't let the money go. And I will share a little bit about my personal story as well when it comes to the fear of spending. When I left work and we were just living off one income, I had a huge fear of spending, and it was very obvious that I was hoarding and holding on to money. And it wasn't until my dad passed away that I kind of really, the money block kind of just hit me in the face. And I thought, actually, I need to shift this energy from being in a space of fearing the spending to making it one of enjoyment. And all I did was shift my mindset. That was so basic. I said, right, we can afford, $20 a day, because we have other goals, $20 a day for food. That's our budget. And I don't think we could do that now. This is going 8 years ago. So don't come at me, because that would be hard going right now, but I'm just giving you some context. The idea of having $20 a day at the time was like a fear of spending or wasting money. And what I did was I turned it into a game. So I gamified it to be able to kind of activate creativity pathways in my brain that made me have a fun time and create a really enjoyable experience around the restriction of the money. And knowing that we had other goals were really important for us because we knew where we were going. So it didn't feel like there was not enough. It felt as though we had enough to achieve what we wanted to achieve. Pardon me, my nose is running again. Oh. Oh. So I wonder if there's any time in your own life where you're fearing spending, or spending is activating a lot of something inside of you. And I guess the coaching question around this would be, can I change it into something more enjoyable that aligns with where we're going? But also, is there something I can do for my body right now that will enable it to calm down? And the fear of not having enough, it goes back to the first one, the fear of not having enough can be lowered down just enough for me to see and appreciate and maybe grasp a little bit more of that abundance. And it's really key here that we understand our brains are naturally going to be activated when we're in fear. So if we are constantly telling ourselves that we don't have enough money, we don't have enough food, we don't have enough all of the things, then it's natural for our bodies to live in that feeling of fear of not enough. And the point of this, what I'm trying to say, is that often it's not so much that we don't have enough, it's the fact that we don't have the safety in our bodies, and our brain has just been communicating a message of not enough. So we really need to kind of bypass the brain in a way. And I'd go back to the first exercises that I give you in the modules, so you can rewire your brain into safety. And that's really at the core of it all. And what happens is when we get into that state of brain calming and brain like releasing the anxiety and the stress and fear within our bodies, what happens is we can actually see a broader range of abundance. So you might find free lemons on the side of the road, or you might get a free voucher from your supermarket, or you get a really cool discount voucher, and you can see the benefit, and it feels good in the moment to have those things. So that's when I know for myself, if I'm in a deep fear, or I'm starting to feel really anxious and a little bit like revved up in relation to spending, and I'm feeling a little fearful, and it still happens to this day. And I really have to make sure that you guys understand that this is a growing, we will forever be coming up against our limiting beliefs, and we will forever be creating new wiring about what we do believe. So when something comes up for me now, I know that I have enough tools in the toolkit to kind of regulate my brain, regulate my body, and also look for small gestures of abundance that I can quickly bring in. So I would always be thankful and bring in that level of gratitude. The third block is just sheer avoidance. And I'm laughing because I think everyone, even some of the most wonderful financial investors, and I don't want to put Warren Buffett in this category, but I want to say that I guarantee at some point anyone doesn't want to open it up and look inside and really face the facts of what has happened. And I think it's really important, if we find ourselves so deeply disturbed and in discomfort and overwhelm, when we even think about looking into our finances, there has to be work done here. Like, there's no doubt about it. There is so much more going on than just the avoidance of the finances. It is adding a layer of stress to your life that it doesn't need to be there. And it's very, very easy to create comfortable money habits. And in our next module, we are going to go over eyes on numbers. That's what I call it. We're just looking at the numbers. We're just putting our eyes on the numbers. We are not attached, our self-worth is not attached to the numbers that we're going to be looking at. And the ignoring in itself is still deciding. I do believe this. If we ignore our finances because we're trying to avoid a discomfort or an overwhelm, that is a red flag for self-growth. It is time to really dig in and see what else is going on around this, because that overwhelm, well, it could be gone really quickly, but also the overwhelm is basically highlighting to me that there is definitely a little something, a belief in there somewhere that there's a money block of some sort. And this discomfort and overwhelm comes back to the fear of not having enough and then feeling into the abundance. So we have to kind of pare it back each time, but we do have to have our eyes on the numbers. And money avoidance is probably one of the biggest blocks when it comes down from scarcity mindset, because money avoidance, we often label it in a way of lack of literacy or lack of knowing or lack of money education. And this it can be, but if you have a resourceful way of thinking and your brain is thinking in a resourceful way, your fear is lowered because you've been doing your body exercises and you're stepping in and looking at other ways to feel abundant other than money. Opening your bank account should be an exciting and enjoyable experience. Having eyes on numbers should be a process that's separate from your internal system. And I want to explain that just a little bit more. So just bear with me, because I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. Because the key thing that highlights to me as a coach and living finances, when I am feeling so ignorant and avoidant of my finances because I don't want to face myself. I don't want to face what I've done. I don't want to face what past Lauren's choices have done. I don't really want to know about it. And I really don't want to look into myself. I don't want to face myself. And there's one thing that I always live by, and is that meet yourself where you are. We cannot change the past. How we view the past and our perception of the past is purely going to be the best aspect of what we can bring to the world. So how all right, let me have a think about it. So the discomfort and overwhelm from avoiding our money is where I'm looking. There are times when you can open up your numbers and have eyes on your numbers and it feel uncomfortable, but you still step into what that means. I actually get really anxious at tax time, and I find it very discomfort and not so much overwhelmed, but just a little something. But when we avoid it completely, that isn't going to solve our problems. But if we sit in the discomfort and understand, now when tax time comes, I think this is going to be a little unsettling, and I'm going to have to ask some really big questions, and I'm going to have to face some of my previous financial decisions. And I'm not sure how I'm going to react, but I need to know that the monetary system is separate from me, and I am not a reflection of my choices. Me as a person, as Lauren sitting here with you guys, is not a reflection of me as a person. So my money choices are something I did, And me as a person is still me. And I think that we need to really, I'm just trying to think of what the ultimate strategy was really when it came to this, like, money avoidance as a money block, is that I think it comes back to modeling. So we're often not shown how to use money correctly, or we have a skewed view of what someone with wealth does. So we have somewhat, we might be in avoidance because we view, Joe Blogs down the street as being wealthy, and we don't associate ourselves to be like them. So we don't share the same money values. But if we look at it from like a micro level, there are probably times that Joe down the road, or John, or Joe, Joe Blog, Joe, whoever, down the road has experienced discomfort when in his money, like in a money journey. And that is just part of life. We are going to feel discomfort at some point. And if we want to make super duper money decisions, we really have to be having eyes on numbers. So if you do feel as though you have a money block around avoiding money, or you don't want to do the money because you feel as though there is going to be some real face-to-face self discussions going on, then we should definitely chat more about that. And maybe you should jump in and have a quick money mindset map conversation with me and create a bit of a strategy session, because often I find it's not necessarily about the money as such in relation to ignoring them, but it is to do with how we feel in our bodies. And as a coach, that is, what I'm here for, is to create that safety and calm around doing just the basic financial jobs. So, and big ones later, but we've got to start somewhere. So if you are interested, then book in for that call and we can really map it out quickly for you. I think it's 45 minutes. Now, the next thing that the next money block is self-worth. So these two are definitely hand in hand. But what I find is that self-worth comes down to a success problem, not so much a scarcity problem. So we feel as though we are not someone who represents financial success or financial abundance or financial wealth. We might not look the way we think that a wealthy person should look, or we might not think that our lives could resemble what a wealthy person would do. And I want to talk to this on a few points. The first point is, often wealthy people don't look a certain way. And I want to tell you a story about this. And this story actually changed my whole mind about wealth, what people look like, how they live their lives. And I was working in Sydney in Double Bay at the Telstra shop, and I was a salesperson and I was selling phones. And one man came in to me and he had just like rugger shorts, like work shorts, and like a singlet or a dirty shirt. And he was probably in his 70s or 80s. And he came in and basically said, I need to get a few phones for my employees. They're going to be coming in one by one. So we kind of set up a plan and got it all organized, and it was pretty basic. Over this is how I remember it, guys. This was 20 years ago, 20 freaking years ago, more, 4 years ago. And I remember the employees coming in. And as the story grew and I got to know the people, these were employees of a private yacht. There was the engineer and the person that drove the boat and the person who worked as the chef on the boat. And each of these people came in and they all looked super well presented and super put together. And it's just kind of blew my mind, because I thought, so who is he, like the head employer? Like who's who here? Who what? And being from a small town, I really just thought it was awesome to have someone and help be able to be of service to people who were working on a yacht. So I was pretty happy with I felt a bit fancy myself. But the story is that that guy was the owner of that yacht, and he was a very successful businessman. And in that moment, I learned a really valuable lesson, because he did not look like a millionaire, and he was probably a multimillionaire. Who knows? 100 million. I don't know. I didn't ask him. It wasn't an interaction. We had an amazing thing, and he even wrote me a beautiful letter that I still have to this day because of the service that I gave to his employees. And the thing is, what changed for me in that moment was that I stopped looking at people for what they had existing, and I started thinking about what a wealthy person looks like, what a rich person looks like, what a millionaire looks like. Because before that, I just thought that millionaires, rich people, wealthy people just look nice all the time. And the truth is that's not the case. So sometimes I think we feel undeserving because our current situation doesn't resemble what we think a wealthy person should look like. And I want to put that in perspective, is that sometimes I think it doesn't actually matter what the wealthy person looks like. If you wanted to make $1 million, you don't need to change who you are as a person, as a visual construct, because each person is deserving of that wealth if they desire it. So I feel like feeling undeserving of financial success based on our self-worth is a huge block. That's just one little aspect of it. And I'm wondering if you can think about any other aspects of your life where your self-worth is kind of limiting your financial success because you believe you need to be a certain way or a certain type of person to have financial success or wealth or make more money or even have a higher threshold of money. And we will talk about energetic thresholds, but that's one thing that really kind of blows my mind every time, that we need to really start understanding that wealth can look and present in many different ways. And yeah. Oh, okay. My nose is still running. Okay. So the next money block I want to talk about is spending more than what we earn. And this spending more, overspending. This is kind of tied with self-worth and thinking that we need to maybe look a certain way or act a certain way to be able to be wealthy. And I kind of love this. I kind of love overspending, because I feel like when you get into a pattern of abundance, you will be spending more money than you may have thought that you would be. And around investing, you're going to be spending money on investments, or making money choices that are probably a bit beyond what you thought you might. So I really want to talk about spending more than you earn to go into consumer debt, and having goals and meeting with professionals to be able to utilize debt and understand it from a money system point of view. And I talk about money system a lot in this space. So we are going to have overspending as a compulsion. So if we are spending more money than we earn to go into debt for consumables, consumer products, so anything that is not a necessity, this is a block because you are holding yourself back from potential earnings and growth. But I also want to say that when we grow our business, we have to spend money and sometimes we have to go into debt. So we really need to understand where the overspending is coming from and have an intentional strategy around money and growth and financial planning. And I would recommend seeking a professional financial planner to get proper advice, individual advice, because I am not a financial planner. I am a money coach. I'm teaching mindset. But this aspect of it is like where I sit is like, why are you spending beyond what you have currently? And do you need another source of income to uphold this lifestyle that you desire? Do you actually desire this lifestyle? Or is it that you're spending because it is compulsion and you are spending because you are avoiding a discomfort or an overwhelm that you don't want to face? And I'll kind of stitch that back as well to the money avoidance, because often overspending and money avoidance blocks, they have a lovely little gathering, because the discomfort of knowing that we spent too much really ignites the ignorance of not wanting to know about it. So those two are often highly correlated. And it's really interesting feeling into spending more than you earn is the best way to put it. But sometimes when we do step into abundance and we do start growing our wealth, we have the opportunity to spend more money. So how we spend intentionally, on purpose, aligned with our goals, understanding what the repercussions are, and we can also have eyes on money and understand what's happening and why or why not we want to be in that position. So overspending as a compulsion of avoiding something, a discomfort, an overwhelm, a bad money choice, our connection to self-worth, all of that. Why are we actually spending? So it's yeah, overspending is an interesting one, because we can find as well that we can live in a scarcity mindset, but we can be overspending at the same time to try and make up for the not ever having enough. But it's kind of ridiculously connected, because the thing is that overspending is not really going to be the antidote here. It is, well, the fear and the discomfort, and having the resources and the resourceful thinking to sit in the discomfort, comfort ourselves, move it through our body, have self-compassion, and bring it back to that moment of like, what is actually happening here? Like, why am I spending for the right reasons, or am I doing it to avoid a discomfort? And I'll leave you with that one, because it's a big one. Overspending is really something that can activate all of us in relation to just our self-reflection, and also gauge, like having a really interesting sense of self-identity can also lower overspending, because we really know what's important to us. And often I find with money avoidance and overspending is that when those two are connected, people really find it hard to say no. And I've talked about this before, and I love this. This is a huge, huge thing within this community, is that when you are solid in what your values are, what you desire, who you are as a person, and you have a deeper self-trust, we don't get into the cycle of overspending, because we know what the fuck is going on. We know what the fuck we're doing, and we know where the fuck we're going, and we don't get into cycles of overspending, because we don't need to soothe ourselves with belongings and things that aren't aligned with our goals. We don't shop or spend money getting into debt to I guess prove a point or become someone that we think we need to be. And we're solid in our own self-trust and self-advocacy to know what's a yes and what's a no. So it's a big topic. And I'm wondering if you've ever had a moment of overspending. Hey, I'm here with you. I'm here with you. Overspending, it often, I think it's a younger thing as well, but then we pay the price later on in life because we have to kind of make up. I overspent when I did a Europe trip. I came home with credit card debt and I felt like I worked for like maybe 8 months, 3 jobs. I worked so hard and had, you know, had to put every cent onto these credit cards. So I had to really refocus and understand what was important to me and put into place the process of how I was going to get there. And even today, when I talk to my friends, they say, "Where were you? You literally disappeared for almost a year." And I think, yeah, I was working every day to just pay off a trip. And I was spending beyond my means, but I was also in a lot of discomfort. And I think that I wanted to escape the feeling that it still came home with me. And funnily enough, it has to do with the failed business. And I don't want to go too much into my own stuff right now, but the discomfort of losing and failing in that business caused me to overspend and go on a trip. And I had some money. I went on a trip. I jacked up all of these credit cards. And then when I came back, I still had all this credit card debt. Funnily enough, I still had all of the discomfort inside my body. And now I had to kind of rebuild my life and get a new job and move to a new city and kind of start all over again. So it didn't necessarily create it didn't solve the discomfort problem. It actually almost created more discomfort because I had to really dedicate a longer period of time to get back to where I wanted to be, which was to have no credit cards and live off within my means. So I think it also comes down to it, which kind of leaves me to the next one, which is external, like outsourcing responsibility for money is a huge block. So believing that our external circumstances really dictate our financial situation. And I really want to talk to this because I do feel like as we grow as adults, obviously our priorities change and we move through our life. It's natural for us to have a period where we do blame externally as we grow as humans. So I'm just going to take a breath. I need a little bit of water. So the outsourcing or believing that our financial situation is outside of our control is a huge block. And I don't even think this really just has to do with money. This has to do with everything in life. If we believe that everything in our life is controlled by external factors, we'll never be happy and we'll never be contented, because there will be always someone to blame. There will be always a circumstance that is out of our control, holding us back, putting blocks up in front of us. We will be really dictated. Our mood will be dictated by our external factors. And it's just not a cool way to live. Now, I know you guys are here and you're doing the course. So the thing is, I want to bring this aspect into like, how do we shift the focus? Because it's so easy for us to blame external factors. Like, I get it. I do it. I've done it. And I'm here with you guys. Okay. It's not as if I just completely woke up one day and no longer do I blame my circumstances for this. But the biggest lesson I learned was to remove the belief around money, that money dictates my mood. And the moment I decided that money up or down will not dictate my mood was the moment I kind of took back that control and responsibility. So what happens when we externally blame is that we outsource our own emotions. And to reclaim that, we have to accept that we are going to have mood changes, but we're not going to allow the external factors to affect our mood ongoing. I want to add a little caveat here and say that it's okay for us to feel in the moment, this is unsatisfactory. I'm not saying we need to just accept that shit happens and, we're completely going to ignore and accept shitty behavior from others. And I'm not saying that it can't just be like on the other side of really shitty circumstances. But what I'm saying is that the moment we take back responsibility and say that we are going to allow ourselves to be dictated by ourselves and not our money situation, I tell you, a whole kind of like, just release it. Like releasing these money blocks is all about just having awareness of the thought and being able to create new thoughts. There is going to be some somatical release, or we might have to have a cry or a yell, or we might have to feel into a moment of anger or sorrow. And we need to also step into a really beautiful sense of forgiveness and acceptance around ourselves and our previous choices and our previous being. But we also need to be able to build and create new neurology and beliefs about where we want to go. So these blocks are going to always show up. And I've told this story before. And sometimes we might feel blocked, but we don't even know what the block is. And I recommend as a money mentor is that we don't even try to label it. If we can't find the reason why, and it doesn't fit into like one of these boxes, or that we can't articulate it, just let it be. Accept it. I accept you. Thank you so much. I forgive you. What can I give you? What do you need right now? And then if you allow the emotion to come up and you're feeling like, okay, there's some emotion. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling into that. When we move through the emotion, that is the moment you have a choice to create a new belief around this blockage or belief. So the question is that what belief is actually going to serve me here? What belief can I model that is going to get me where I want to go? What are some standards or abundance cycles that I can look into to really put me in a position where I want to go? We have to kind of, I guess, not get too fixated on the blockages and focus more on what the new belief is. And I want to put it in a way that truly makes sense, because I don't know how you're feeling right now. Maybe you could give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or write in the comments, like where are you sitting with your money blocks? Do you feel like you want to unravel them and talk about them and really nut them out? Or do you feel like I'm okay with them being around and I'm just quite happy to get into my new beliefs? Because there's no right or wrong answer here. It's your own journey around your own money beliefs. And if you're feeling blocks that need to be really unraveled, that is welcome. But what I will say here is that we want to move into the new belief as quick as we can. Even if your money block doesn't believe a fucking moment of it. And what I mean is that you might be saying things to yourself like, I am surrounded by people who support my growth and success, but your other brain saying that's a load of shit. That's a load of shit. And then you say something else. You say it again. I'm surrounded by people who support me and believe in everything that I'm doing and my growth. And then all of a sudden your brain says, and like, no, I don't believe you. And then you say it again and again and again. And when the belief comes up that is no, the block, that is the block. What we do with this block is really the most important thing. We have to connect with that block in a way, in a physiological way. And that's what I mean about not ruminating on it or trying to fix it in our brains, is that the block needs attention. The block needs a moment of awareness for us to accept it, that it exists. And by accepting it doesn't mean it's never going to turn up again. What it means is that it's welcome. We're not diminishing or suppressing any part of us. We're bringing our whole centered self. So if you do feel like there are blocks that need attending to, give them space and allow that to happen. It's so important. It's so important. And at the same time, create beliefs that serve your future self. So create beliefs that are what you want to believe, that who you are becoming, what you deserve and desire, and what you feel as though you are made for. Because so often we think that we're going to have it's like this: money block gone, new belief in, new life happening. And it's not. It could be like money block here, new life happening, money belief awareness, coming back. Oh, I've achieved something amazing. Oh, now I'm back here. Now the money blocks arrives again. So we have to really kind of put those steps in place, but allow the acceptance and allow ourselves to really come back to that part, because there might be a scarcity part of us that has really never felt safe around money. And having more money isn't going to solve the safety problem, but allowing that, connecting with our body, working on our fear, like our body exercises, and really centering ourselves back into our bodies is the change that that part needs. So it's not so much about getting more or unblocking all of this. It's just a matter of feeling safe in the body. And the more we feel safe in our body, the more money we can earn, the more, opportunities we can say yes to when we don't actually know the answers or we don't have the solution. But we feel safe enough to hold the energetic space between saying yes and not knowing what the fuck is going on until we're doing it. And a lot of money choices and a lot of money decisions that we make around money blocks are really like, we need to bring in the acceptance. We need to accept. When we accept what is going on for us, it's really a big change. So I want to leave you with a little bit of an activity. So I hope you have a pen and a paper, and I want you to pop in the comments below and just put a comment about what's been your biggest learning so far. So what has been your biggest learning throughout this lesson? This is a big masterclass. We've been going for 50 minutes. So what is your biggest lesson? And if you could pop that in the comments, that would be amazing. We're going to go into that exercise now. So I want you to think of a person that you know who has really strong money beliefs. And I just want you to think of 3 money beliefs that they have. And I want you to write them. So maybe pause this and write them. And then for those 3 money beliefs, I want you to think about what these people value. So with those three beliefs, what do you think their main value is? What do they value in life? And values and value is not necessarily the same, but what do you think they value? They're a little bit, I'm getting confused, guys, now, but they're connected, but it's not so much, it's about how we want to live our lives. So it's not so much about a doing. I feel like values of how we live and what we value is kind of how we spend our time. So what we want to do with our lives and how we want to be. So with those three values, I want you to now, oh, you can pause it, and then we'll go on to the next bit. And then once you come back and you've got the three beliefs and you've got the three values, I want you to now write a time where you have shown those three values. And I want you to put it in the first person, I have, or I am, or there has been a time that I have shown these traits in your life. And I want you to do three of those. And then pause it and come back when you're ready. So now that you're back, I just want you to see how that exercise shows that we can't actually think about these things if we don't have them in us, and we will not be able to articulate or view something that's in somebody else if we don't have it inside of us too. So I trust that this exercise kind of opened your mind about what beliefs you need to maybe start thinking about bringing into your life. And also maybe you've noticed some money blocks that you thought, that's interesting. That's a really interesting concept. And I trust that you got a lot out of this. I will encourage you to write anything in the comments below, any learnings, anything that you noticed, any big unpacking moments around money beliefs. I really want to open up this conversation about money blocks because we still have them at all levels. Even, some of the richest business people who are seemingly really, really successful still feel blocked in some way. Gary Vee still hasn't bought the team that he wants to buy. So he's still, uncovering blocks around his success. And I know, like with many coaches, they do talk about their blocks around abundance and scarcity and kind of overcoming those. So I do want you to take away these money blocks as something that maybe there's something that you haven't necessarily honed in on and that you need to unpack, but also a level of awareness and acceptance and maybe a little bit of forgiveness to yourself through kindness and lovingness that you have. You are a human being and I love you very much. And I think that you're super great. And I will leave you with this. So thank you so much for being here with me, and I will chat to you soon.